Hello everyone, welcome back to Weaving Web 3. We are at ECC and I'm with Youssef from SuperFluid, lead dev round. So, what is SuperFluid and why should we be excited about it?
Thank you. SuperFluid is a token streaming protocol. So the way we try to explain it, the most easy way is instead of sending a subscription, for example, of $100 per month, maybe you want to start a stream. So you start sending your subscription every second. So you start a stream of money, which basically sends your money or your token every second to the person or to the business or whatever use case that you have. So some of the use cases just that we have today, for example, subscriptions, also DCA, so dollar cost average. If you want a dollar cost average into your favorite token, every second I can talk maybe more about that, our consumer apps, but yeah, this is the gist of it.
So why would someone want to use SuperFluid in, let's say, like a broader scenario? What is the advantage of, let's say, having a constant stream of funds into an account?
Absolutely. So it depends on the use case, but for example, in terms of payroll, for example, as a freelancer, maybe you don't want to work for free or wait for your money to get later. The client can start a stream for you, maybe $2,000 per month, $3,000 per month, and you get paid every second. Basically, for subscriptions, a lot of the times you pay in advance or you pay at the end of the month. So there are problems between, I guess, service providers and people who are using these subscriptions. If you use SuperFluid, you can subscribe and you don't need to have $100 even if it is $100 per month. You can have $10 and start a subscription and only subscribe for a few days. This is used, for example, in AlfaFrens, our subscription social fi app, where you can have a little bit of degen, it's the token we're using. Just, for example, you can have 1,000 degen and open 1,000 subscriptions, try out 1,000 content creators, and then close your streams, close your subscriptions.
I think that's a really important thing that I really enjoy about AlfaFrens is that, let's say I want to have like a specific piece of alpha from this content creator at a certain piece of time. I can get that and then close my subscription. It's not that I am tied down to this one person forever, because I'll be like, oh, well, I'm doing some research, I want to know what this person's doing. They can give me that information, but then I'm like, okay, I don't need this. But in the real world right now, I'll be, let's say, paying $20. They have my $20 forever. Instead, I need a specific piece of information. I'll pay them $5 and then I save my money, right?
Absolutely. And this is very, very powerful when it comes to AlfaFrens or any other SaaS subscription. So we've seen actually members on AlfaFrens using their AlfaFrens subscription as gating their software. So that's really cool. Also with DCA. So today we have SuperBoring, which is an app that we use for dollar cost averaging. Say you have $1,000 and you want to DCA, I don't know, $5,000 per month. You can start a stream with just $1,000 and then you can add slowly to your position or anything like that. So this is what's cool about streams. You don't need to have the funds, and that's the gist and the end goal of streams is making money much more efficient. A lot of money gets lost in, like, you send your wire, for example. It takes days, sometimes weeks to get, depending on the country, and that money is completely lost or inefficient, or someone else uses it other than you. Second by second is as efficient as you can get.
So how does the dollar cost averaging work? Do you have like private market makers, or how does the individual get the best prices if they use the SuperBoring DCA?
Absolutely. So you start a stream, you go on superboring.xyz, you start a stream, you start a DCA position, and that's it. That's why it's called SuperBoring. That's all you have to do as a consumer. You start that DCA position, the money gets accumulated into a pool, and we have arbitrageurs. So these arbitrageurs will take the price that, the average price over 24 hours, and according to that price, we will give them a little bit of a premium. We will sell it to them a little bit cheaper, and they go take that money or that token that got accumulated into that pool and sell it in Uniswap against the token that you want, and they bring it back, and we send back the token to you slowly. Usually it takes maybe every 10 minutes we do that. Could be 5, could be 30, depending on the token and the liquidity.
Okay, so based on that model, it is more favorable if you had like a long-term DCA position over time, right?
Absolutely. This is for people who want to set it and forget it. That's what SuperBoring is for. And I think everyone wants to DCA to their favorite token. It could be ETH, Red Bitcoin, for example, or some of the meme coins. We just offer that solution for people to slowly go in or also go out, right? If you have big positions, if you're a team member and you have a token and you don't want to destroy the price very abruptly, you can sell slowly and you don't have to think about it. Just set your position, forget it, and that's it.
Okay, amazing. So with SuperBoring, what is going to be the long-term vision of it? Is it just going to be a DCA platform? Is it just going to be available on Base, or is it because it is chain specific? And just a bit more information about that.
Absolutely. So our go-to-market was very much base heavy because that's where we have a lot of our community today with AlfaFrens, and so we wanted to reward them and give them the possibility to try out with their favorite tokens on Base. Long-term vision, obviously, SuperBoring is going multi-chain for sure. And also, I think one of the cool things that you can do with SuperBoring, so if you think about liquidity mining today for traditional DEXs, you can incentivize liquidity and you can incentivize maybe trading in both directions. You cannot specify which direction you want to incentivize trading into. One of the things that I am personally very, very excited for SuperBoring is that you can actually incentivize trading in one direction, either the buy side or the sell side, because the pools that we have are directional. So our long-term vision is not just DCA, it is going to be what we call a stream index, right? And that creates a lot of dynamics that are both, beneficial for you and also maybe not so beneficial for your competitors, right? And it depends. So I'm very excited about the game theory aspect of it once we start partnering up either with tokens to incentivize buy, sell, or buy side or sell side.
So what advantage would that be to the user at the end of the day? Because as a user myself, I try to find the DEX as just the products that let's say, give back to the community. So why should I be using you compared to the other DCA systems out there?
First of all, I think we are probably the most efficient in terms of capital, so we don't lock any capital. So any money that you want to use for DCA comes strictly directly from your balance. You don't need to lock any capital up front. If you don't have any more balance of that token you're DCA out from, then yeah, you get liquidated and your position stops. But you don't need to lock capital. So that's very important, I think, on SuperFluid, and that's why we were very, very keen on that because we are very strong on capital efficiency, right? So that's one. Two, one thing that you can do with SuperBoring is earn the token boring. So when you stream DCA into a position, you start earning the token boring, which you can use to stake on your favorite pools to earn cash back. So that's something that's really cool at SuperBoring, which incentivizes you to kind of, stream into the right pool that has the biggest boring emissions, and the more boring that is staked on one pool, the more boring emissions come.
What's been the biggest challenge in building a DEX, or what have you faced as SuperFluid or building AlfaFrens that you really think if anyone else is trying to build something, what would you recommend them to do?
I think at SuperFluid we're a highly technical team, and we've built the protocol for years. We haven't been very consumer focused. We've been very B2B. We have Optimism using up their RPGF, ENS, and other protocols. So going to the consumer has been something new for us, but I think we've done great with AlfaFrens. And our GTM was partly based, for example, on frames, which I think are very, very cool and very strong tool for GTM and for SuperBoring as well. So for us, figuring out that part was challenging, but now that we got it, I think we have a very, very strong playbook for the GTM. And we just started with SuperBoring 2 weeks ago. We haven't even started
the discovery phase. Yeah, for sure. And what are the most exciting things, let's say, in the next 3 to 6 months? Where do you want to see SuperFluid? Where do you want to see AlfaFrens? And where do you see SuperBoring? What is going to be the next big things?
I think, I honestly, it's very hard to tell because crypto changes very quickly, and we're still a startup, so things can change very very quickly. But on a personal level, I would love for us to find synergies between all of our ecosystem. And being a dev role myself, I would love to see our ecosystem flourish. So one thing that's really cool also that happened with the retail attention we got from AlfaFrens and SuperBoring is that when you have retail attention, you have end user traction, and having end user traction brings you developer traction, especially on Farcaster, because you have a massive developer community there. So as a dev role, that's very exciting. We have multiple ecosystem projects that came out just in the last few months after we launched AlfaFrens. I can talk about Channel X, so that's like gating channels on Farcaster through SuperFluid. I can talk about Adland, which is advertisement through streaming and frames on Farcaster, and a bunch of other ecosystem projects. So that's what I am very excited about as a dev role.
And one other note I just wanted to, you were talking about Farcaster. I think there's so many more possibilities with these programmable frames and that we can interact with, because like with Twitter, you literally can't do any of the things that's possible. Now I can interact, order positions, mint NFTs and everything like that. So do you think like Farcaster is going to play a big role in like, let's say, developing like your brand and vision? Because I really think pushing onto Farcaster is like going to be the future.
I think, and maybe this is some alpha that I shouldn't be given because we will get more competition, but I think it's completely, I don't understand why anyone who wants to launch a consumer product today in the EVM space wouldn't, at the very least, consider Farcaster part of their go-to-market. So for us, it's kind of like elementary. It's almost like essential in our go-to-market, and that's how we built our initial niche. For us, that's how important. Now, Farcaster is still a little bit small. You would like to go maybe through Farcaster and, just as to build your early users and then maybe go outside of Farcaster to another place. But Farcaster is really, really cool and very good for EVM native applications because people are onboarded, they're crypto native, they have wallets, you can create custom social experiences through frames and other things. It's just a no-brainer. I don't know why people just don't, there is very much I know a few protocols that are very active in Farcaster and use it as GTM or as distribution or as acquisition, and it's too little, very too little compared to the potential.
Absolutely, and I also think that's where the most loyal fans and products, because you can actually talk with the founders of the project because the community is still so small.
Very cool. Little noise and a lot of signal. That's what I find Farcaster, as opposed to Twitter, where a lot of the people who maybe even criticizing or talking about your product, they haven't even opened it sometimes.
So to finish off, what would you want to encourage people to onboard to SuperBoring, SuperFluid, and AlfaFrens?
If you are more of a gamer or GameFi, SocialFi, I would definitely go check AlfaFrens. So ALFA Friends, as in FRENS.com, and then just onboard if you have a Farcaster account and play with it. That's really cool. If you are more of a DeFi user, I would definitely check the DCA app, so superboring.xyz. It will get you familiarized with SuperFluid, but SuperFluid is usually very complicated to explain. One thing that makes it so easy is seeing that ticker balance go up on AlfaFrens or SuperBoring.
It's quite addictive, I have to say. It's
so
very
just
addictive.
Use the app, you will get SuperFluid. You don't need me to explain anything. Just go to SuperBoring or AlfaFrens and you will get it.
Thank you so much. This was Weaving Web3 at ECC.
You're welcome. Cheers.